Hi everyone, I'm Hayley. I'm always in the craft room and the weather has started to turn here in the UK. We've got some glorious sunshine. The air temps are still pretty chilly, but it's got me all excited about spring sewing. So let's go through the stash and decide what I'm going to make. The first fabric that has got me really inspired is this poly cotton burnout. So it's a white base and it is quite sheer, but then if you can see, it's got daisies either printed on or embossed in a burnout fashion and these lovely pastel florals. And I just think that's super cute and will make a lovely little top. I have been thinking about patterns that I already have that would work for that, but I have a really specific idea of what I want. And I saw a pattern that was exactly it. It's called the Endless Summer. I will list all the patterns that I mentioned below, by the way. And what it has that I really want is gathering along the bust line and a shawl collar. I have a Vogue pattern with a shawl collar. I have a McCall's pattern with the bust gathering. And I did actually pull them both out and spend some time trying to work out how I would make one pattern that incorporated both. And then I thought, and if you've watched this channel for a while, you'll know this is quite unusual for me. I thought, stop it, Hayley, just buy the pattern you actually want. So that's what I'm going to do. That is plan number one, an endless summer blouse with this white floral. That was from Abercarn in North Wales, by the way. So that's the one that I'm really desperate to get on with. But when I think about the overall plans for summer, I know we need to concentrate on wearable basics. I spend 80% of my time working from home and on school run. So we need to think what kind of things I like to wear for those days. And the answer is comfortable things, but that still look put together. It's the holy grail, isn't it? Last year, I worked on quite a few pairs of trousers. I made 2 pairs of linen trousers and also 1 pair of cargo pants. So I feel like for the first time in a long time, I'm sorted for bottoms. T-shirts, however, is another story. I currently have 3 short sleeve t-shirts, literally just 3. 2 are bubbled and horrible and stretched out, and 1 I just made a few weeks ago and have been wearing to death already. So we need to rectify that, and I have a few fabrics ready to go. So the first one is this, and it was from Dots and Stripes in Scotland, and it's a gorgeous like Air Force blue with daisies on. I love daisies. I love navy blue, and I think this just needs to be a really simple t-shirt. Probably short sleeve, but maybe cap sleeve. I don't love short sleeves on me. I don't know why. I just don't. But I think either an Itch to Stitch Idyllwild or a Maria Denmark Kirsten T. Just both pretty simple. The difference is that the Kirsten has cotton sleeves. So I'll have a think, but I bought 1 meter of that and that will be great. Speaking of Idyllwild and daisy fabrics, does anyone remember at the end of last summer when I made a disastrous t-shirt from this panel print, also from Abercarn in North Wales? I made an Idyllwild and I loved it and it was perfect. And the daisies like grew up from the bottom. It was beautiful, but I messed up the construction, sewed it with the wrong seam allowance and wrecked it. It's literally unwearable. So we are going to make a cap sleeve Idyllwild exactly the same from this fabric. It is a panel print and I bought 2 panels thinking I might need one for the front and one for the back, but it's so wide I got a front and a back out of one, so I can just literally make exactly the same thing again. And as annoying as it will be, that will not take long and it will look so good with my navy linen trousers. Also destined to be a t-shirt is this kind of turquoise and teal animal print. I bought this on holiday in Amsterdam and I got a meter and I'm torn between a t-shirt. I think it might just be a little bit too heavy for a short sleeve, really summery t-shirt. I think maybe a 3/4 sleeve t-shirt. Now I do have a Dolman sleeve pattern that I really like. I will put the info on the screen because in case you didn't know, I'm terrible with pattern numbers and pattern names, but I know exactly which one I'm thinking of. So when I edit this video, I will pop up the details. In fact, I'm going to scoot one way so we've got more room for all the line drawings. I think that would be really nice as a kind of spring, so not height of summer, but spring and also going into autumn, 3/4 length sleeve t-shirt. Yes. Also on holiday in Amsterdam, in the same shop, I bought this. I know it's super bright and I think it might be one of those love it or hate it kind of fabrics, but I love it. And with it being so wild and so bright, I don't want an overwhelming amount of fabric. I'm thinking for this of making a top that I made last year, kind of loosely based on the Pattern Scout Flora dress. So the Pattern Scout Flora is a woven dress and top pattern with pleats along the front, but it has some really lovely shaping along the top and one option for quite wide bra-friendly straps. And last year I made a jersey top without the pleats, but with that same front shaping. So kind of really like a tube top, but with straps. And I think that would be stunning as that. However, I think this is a viscose jersey, as was the one that I used last year. And I had an issue with the top edge going all baggy. So in the comments below, if you have any tips for me about how to do the top edge, please do share them. What I did last time was I cut a strip of jersey binding and just sewed it across the top, flipped it to the inside, and it was wavy, baggy, stretched out. It looked terrible. Should I try some elastic? Some clear elastic? Would I do that in combination with binding or just literally elastic and turn? I keep swearing off the viscose jersey, I know, but it's so soft and the prints are so gorgeous. And in any case, I need to use up what I have, even if I'm not buying any more. So I would love any tips you have on that. Sticking with the Flora, you know me, when I've got a pattern, I like to use it many times. I have this navy floral, which I just absolutely love. It's pink and blue. I just think, yeah, it would look so nice as a Flora. Now, this again is a jersey. That is a pattern for wovens. I think I can make it work. It's quite a heavy weight. I don't know what composition it is. This was from Rainbow Fabrics, and they are a dead stock seller. So you just kind of get what you get. Yeah, I just think a kind of loose, summery column dress with side splits and maybe those wide bra strap covering straps again. I think that could be just perfect as a throw on and go dress for those warm days when weirdly fabric cools you down. Do you know what I mean? When you're really warm, but a drapey, floaty viscose actually somehow adds coolness. Okay, looking at the rest of these, this is the knit pile in case you hadn't figured. Also from Abercarn in North Wales is this white and silver heart jersey. I absolutely love this. And what I really want to make is a V-neck t-shirt, but I've never had great luck with V-necks. What I really want is the Idyllwild fit, because I love that t-shirt in case you can't tell, but with a V-neck. I've just got to bite the bullet and make it happen, I think. It's the binding that confuses me. Now, I do have the Forget Me Not Vera top, which has a V-neck and really good instructions. So basically, I just need to copy that, don't I? I just need to trace the V-neck off that, cut the V-neck band. And I think I would just use a plain white jersey for the band because these dots, they're not a random place. Dots, they're hearts. They're not a random placement, but by the time you've cut a V-neck band, it will be quite random. So I think just a plain white will look best with that. So that's going to be an Idyllwild Vera mashup silver hearts. couple of don't know what to do with them fabrics there we're going to ignore. This is a plain khaki. It's just a jersey really, but quite hefty. I think it's a cotton jersey, feels quite dry, quite weighty. And if you watched my holiday planning video last year when I was planning a family trip to Croatia, I talked about making a polo neck dress. So I was going to use a Lallie pattern, which was actually a man's pattern that I purchased for my husband, and lengthen it to a dress, and I have actually done all of the pattern work on that and I've got it cut out. I just ran out of time to make it, and I was going to make it in a navy French terry, but I saw this in the stash and I thought, should I branch out? I wear a lot of navy, I sew with a lot of navy. Do you think this colour would look good on me as such a dress? And when I say polo neck, I mean American polo neck, as in like a placket, not a British polo neck, like what Americans would call a turtleneck. Oh, isn't our common language confusing? So do you think that would look nice as that? I'm envisioning it quite short, maybe slits up the side, kind of like a tennis dress. The rest of those, that one's a remnant. Those ones I'm just not sure about. We're getting rid. So on to the wovens. Quite a few of these I've got plans for. I've just never got round to them. This fabric was from Rainbow Fabrics and I was so thrilled with it when I bought it. It is navy with gold daisies again, but I just don't like it against my skin. I'm a silver girl. I had my colours done years ago and I am a winter, and gold just doesn't do me any favours. But I was thinking, would this make a nice skirt or fun trousers? I struggle with fun trousers because I always feel like I'm wearing pyjama bottoms. Now, I thought maybe the gold voile would counteract that. What do you think? Would that make nice fun trousers? I'm thinking of the Vogue Cargo pattern. I'm going to move again so I can put the line drawing in, that I made at the end of last year. I'm not perfectly happy with those trousers, but I know what I need to change for next time. And I love the waist treatment. It's a fold down waistband with elastic and a drawstring, and they are so quick to construct. So let me know if you think the navy and gold would make a good pair of trousers, or if I should do this skirt pattern, which I have made before and which I do love. This fabric. So this is actually a kind of lightweight flannel, which I know does not scream spring, summer, but you know what we've got to remember? It's early on. This is a false dawn. The cold days are coming back, you know they are. And this is planned to be a Megan Neilson Darling Rangers dress. And I think that would be a really nice spring, autumn weight actually for those colder days, especially when it's sunny but cold and you want to feel kind of springy with the turquoise and the flowers, but you also want to be cozy. I think that might be ideal. And also I just had to show you what a great match these buttons are, which I bought on spec before I'd even got this fabric, and they are just ideal. While we're on the subject, does anybody recognize this branding? I bought these buttons at the Harrogate Knitting and Stitching show, not last year, the year before. And I feel like the stand was called something along the lines of European country buttons, like French buttons or Italian buttons. I have Googled till I'm blue in the face and I cannot track this company down. I even went through the vendor list from that year's show and tried to work out who they were from, because I love these buttons. I also bought some buttons from this lady for a cardigan that I crocheted, and if I could track her down and find an online shop, I would be forever grateful. If you recognise them, please do let me know. So I'm going to reserve this. It's a maybe, but if the weather goes cold again, I think that would be a great project to make me feel the April showers are going to bring Mayflowers, but just not quite yet. This white linen I bought last year at Jenny Stitches up in the Lake District, and I would like to make with this a Malibu blouse. A couple of things are putting me off. The first one is the price, honestly. It's quite an expensive pattern for a company that I've never tried before. It's Staystitch Patterns is the name of them. And I saw a review of this blouse, which is partly what made me want to sew it, to be honest, by Rachel of Stitched Up. But in it, she mentions an error in the instructions. And thankfully, thanks Rachel, she's told you exactly what the problem is. And I will therefore not make that mistake. But I'm just hesitant buying an expensive pattern where there's a known error in the instructions. Do you have any experience with Staystitch? Would you recommend them? Have you made the Malibu shirt? I just love the idea of a throw on and go linen shirt that already has this twist front detail, because I've tried wearing a normal shirt and doing a tie and I just end up fiddling with it, worrying about it, thinking it looks off and just messing with it all day. And I absolutely hate that feeling of fussing with my clothes. I want to get dressed, go, and not think about it again. So if you know of any other patterns for something similar, do share them below, because I'm really keen to get this made up to protect me from the summer sun that hopefully is on its way. Some of you may recognise this fabric. I bought it from Ruby's Rags in the Peak District last year, and it is the most expensive fabric I've ever bought, and also one of my all-time favourites. It's an absolutely beautiful fluid two-tone linen, hand-woven in Spain. I love it, and I'm afraid to tell you at the moment it's too precious to cut into. If I perfect these Vogue Cargo pants, it's a definite possibility, because I really do think the weight of it would lend itself to an elasticated waist rather than a structured zipped linen pair of trousers. But oh, love that so much. Oh, this navy fabric is from Leon's in Manchester, and it is, I don't know what it is. Would you call that a broderie anglaise? Not really. It's more of a woven or embossed stripe. I don't know, but I absolutely love it. And from this, I would like to make a free pattern, the Tiana's Closet Lallie dress. It has a gorgeous square neck, and I just think that would look stunning. This fabric also came from Jenny Stitches. Isn't it beautiful? I just love the cobalt blue. I think if I like the Endless Summer pattern, I'll make it again in this. The cheap floral voile, however you say it, voile, can be my test. And if I like it, that's what I'm going to do with this. I bought this beautiful kind of Monet-esque silk very early on in my sewing career from eBay. It was literally a very early D stash, and it came with this cotton silk lining, and I've just not known what to do with it because there's not much of it and it's not very wide. But I think this is the summer that I know. What I would like to make is a Vogue wrap top. So I've made a Vogue wrap dress, and then I shortened the skirt to a peplum and made a top. And I think this would just be absolutely gorgeous. So, you know, when you have a fabric, this has been in the stash probably 10 years, and I've just never known exactly what to do with it. What do you know? Last year, on a whim, I just tried cutting off a dress to a top, and now I know that is what it is destined to be. Another teal fabric, another floral, and another Pattern Scout Flora. And this one, I'm actually going to make the real, true, original pattern in a woven, a pleated midi length dress. I have made the top version of the Flora in a woven, and I absolutely love it. And as soon as I saw this fabric, I knew what it wanted to be. I just bought this locally. It's dead stock. And I think it's a viscose challis, and it will be gorgeous. Does anyone have any suggestions for me for this fabric? It's coming up quite blue on screen, and I guess compared to that teal, it is blue, but it's more teal. Not that it makes a difference. It's got this amazing hand-stitched kind of, it's not a pleat, it's a tuck. I bought it at the Knitting and Stitching show in Harrogate. I cannot remember which stand it was from, I'm afraid. But it's really unusual and it was really expensive, so I only bought 1 metre. I did wonder about making this top, which is the Notches Odell, but I don't think I have enough. And also, all of these panels, I just don't think lend themselves to this because I wouldn't want to chop it up too much. I feel like they're the feature, so I want something quite plain, but it is quite stiff. All of these tucks affect the drape. I've only got 1 metre. Any ideas? Much appreciated. This is a really thin black viscose, and I just thought this would make a nice elasticated waist skirt. And I have made one in the past just by literally folding the fabric right sides together, overlocking the selvages off, and then turning a casing to elasticate it. And that's all I plan to do with that. I must remember this time, leave a back vent. Because the first one I made up, I could walk in it-ish, but I could not get in and out of the car. This fabric I bought on a girls' trip to Paris many, many years ago. Still haven't decided what to do with it. Still can't bring myself to cut into it. This one you saw just a couple of weeks ago after I came back from London with matching buttons is destined to be another darling ranges. And I think on that one I'm going to add some tiers and lengthen it because I do have a lot of that fabric. This fabric came from Rainbow Fabrics and it's a viscose Moroccan, and it was a really striking black and white. Unfortunately, in the pre-wash, the black ran, and so it's now a kind of dirty grey on charcoal. And yeah, I just don't know what to do with it. I guess it would make a good toile of something. Or would it make nice fun trousers? I could just do an elasticated skirt with it. I don't know. Probably staying in the stash this summer, let's be honest. And this is a mustard heart fabric. The hearts are so tiny and cute. I absolutely love it. But I learned the hard way, it looks terrible against my skin. So I think this needs to be a skirt. I feel like it's too flimsy for even a pair of gathered trousers, to be honest. So I think it needs to be a very voluminous skirt. And last but not least, I have this gorgeous silk cotton blend. I think it's a sari length of fabric. My parents brought it back for me from a holiday in Malaysia. And you guys, I love this colour. It's totally my shade of hot pink. But I'm just worried about pre-washing it because I think it's going to lose this lovely sheen. But then my life does not suit dry clean only silk garments. I will get a water stain on it. I will get a mark on it. There's no point trying to preserve the sheen so it can sit in my stash, is there? Give me some courage. Tell me I just need to wash this. Is there any special precaution I could take? Special washing detergent to use? Let me know if you have any tips on how best to treat this. What I would like to make with this is a swimsuit cover-up for holiday. So yeah, isn't it gorgeous? Wow. That was the whole summer stash. Let's see how many plans we've got. 19. For reference, when I did this whole planning system for autumn and winter, I came up with 12 things I wanted to make and I did not even finish those. So I'm going to go through this list, pick the ones I'm absolutely desperate to make, and get sewing. I hope the weather is nice where you are. If you're down under, I hope you're enjoying some cooler temperatures after a long hot summer, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.